Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. This is Kench1913.
And Ghostyfilms.
And we're Let's Playing Castlevania 3.
Yeah.
Dracula's Curse. But this is the Japanese version.
Whoa.
This is going to be a Trevor only run, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And,
Does he scream Konnichiwa at any point in time during this game?
I don't know, but I decided to continue this game. Even though we finished it before.
That's English right there.
Yeah, they translated it. It's actually a better translation.
15th century Europe. In this dark age, an evil person named Vlad Tepes lived in Transylvania. Having reached the limits of his power, he revived the dark gods and used their power to terrorize the nation of Wallachia. Driven insane by his own greed, he planned to take over all of Europe. The Holy Church called out to arms and sent an army to stop Tepes, or as he called himself, Dracula. None of them returned alive. Seeing that their efforts were futile, the church decided to hand the task of slaying Dracula to the Belmont family, known vampire hunters, in quotes. That means they're not really vampire hunters, for many generations. But they were feared because of their power. They vanished and have not been heard of since. The Pope never gave up, and at last found one young man, Ralph Belmont.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Ralph?
Yeah,
Everything was good about that except Ralph?
Yeah.
100
That's
years
what they
before,
call him in Japan. Simon Belmont.
Simon Belmont.
Yeah.
Dracula and mankind battle begins.
So as you can tell, Dan, I don't know if you've noticed, but the music is much better in this game. Well, it's got more layers to it. Like the other version is got deeper sounds. This one has got more it's just cool. It just sounds good too.
So it's like Danny Elfman wrote the soundtrack to it.
I guess. Anyways, we're gonna name our guy Trevor this time because help me does not work, Dan.
Oh. I heard laughter, Pete. This
Yeah,
game is mocking us already.
Yes, it is. I'm just letting the music go.
Even though we got past the hardest part of the game.
We did. Now, Dan, you see that cross right there?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that in the NES version.
It wasn't?
That's right, censorship. And you hear the music? It sounds a lot better, actually. You know what I mean?
It reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles somehow.
Well, they were both made by the same people. So, or not the same people, but Konami. You know what I mean, Dan? Do you know what Konami is?
Destruction?
No, it's this game thing.
Oh, I mean, but it translates to destruction, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think so. Anyway, so there's a few censorship things. This game is actually easier in the essence that some monsters don't come around when you're going around. Also, I don't think you take as much damage as some monsters.
What does that mean? They don't come around when you're going around?
Like, meaning, you know, in certain areas where you would see a monster in the NES version, they didn't have them in this version. You just walk through without having to deal with much difficulty. Anyways, this is going to be a Trevor only run, but I plan on showing off the differences of characters from the Japanese version to the NES version. Like Grant, I'm going to show him off. He can throw knives without using hearts, which is pretty cool. And then apparently someone said Alucard got nerfed.
Nerf?
Nerf meaning got weaker from... They nerfed him in the NES version. But I was doing some research and we'll see if that was really true when we get there. You know what I'm saying, Dan?
I hear you. This music is all like echoey and ghoulish.
Yeah, and you see these zombies here, they're a little different than they were in the NES version because they look more like zombies rather than mudmen.
Yeah, they almost look like Frankenberry from that cereal.
That delicious cereal.
Yeah.
And look at that. And look, these aren't flea men there. They're like little well, I'll show them off later. They're like little goblin guys.
Are they orcs?
No, they're like little goblin guys, Dan.
Oh.
There's a big difference between orcs and little goblin guys.
I thought orcs and goblins were similar.
No, goblins are like smaller and they live in stuff. And orcs are larger and live in other things. You know what I'm saying?
I thought they were like the same species. Like you have giants, the orcs, and then you have midgets, goblins.
Maybe, Dan.
Only like they reproduce. Like sometimes little people can have a giant, like a regular sized baby. But
baby arm, yeah.
And vice versa. But if two goblins went like this, then they'd reproduce more goblins.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works out.
It might. I don't know, Dan. Anyways, as you can hear, the boss music's different. It's got more layers, because I think I was explaining that apparently they made a new sound chip for the NES that could give you more, what are they called? More, like, channels of sound. But they didn't.
So it's like the 4-track bumped up to like an 8-track.
Yeah, this is probably like 6 tracks rather than the 4. So the composer of the game, Dan, actually had to do 2 separate soundtracks for this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like this new soundtrack.
I kind of like it too. So Dan, we're gonna head up to the clock tower because I will be showing off every level as Trevor, just so you can hear all the music and see the immense difficulty of a Trevor only run.
The bass sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And so, you know, in the NES version, the composer had to figure out a way to keep the same music, but then take out some channels, but still make it unique, which is pretty cool.
The bass kind of sounds like a tiny little motorbike was used in the recording.
Like an Excite bike, motorbike, yeah. See, now, if you remember, in the NES version, there are Medusa heads flying over here. Not anymore, Dan.
Whoa.
See? Easy,
Medusa
right?
head-free zone.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. I thought the Japanese people were always like, Americans are too stupid for this game, let's make it easy. But in this case, it seems like the reverse.
Yeah, it seems like they made it easier for for themselves, but then for some reason they're like, let's amp the difficulty up.
Take that, Americans.
Yeah. Eat a piece of cheese or something.
Yeah.
Look at that. You see what I did
so
there?
difficult about eating cheese.
I don't know. They figure we're all fat
Unless
and
it's
stupid.
like Limburger.
Yeah. I think they all figured we're all fat and stupid.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much true.
Yeah.
But
a majority of us are fat and stupid. So yeah, they still have the cool music that sounds like there's a clock right here with all these gears.
That kind of sounds like Double Dragon 2.
Oh yeah, like when you're beating a guy up. Yeah. Yeah, for sure, Zeus. And look, there's a Medusa head.
Yeah.
Now they'll start appearing. Ooh, it touched me.
Medusa heads are fashionably late because they're the prima donnas of the monster world.
I believe so. They used to be Dracula's girlfriend back in the day.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if I can do this right.
Medusa
Oh, I
head to the
died.
face.
Alright, let's try this again, Dan.
I once took a grapefruit to the face.
Yeah, how did that feel?
It hurt.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
I might have even fallen backward and landed on my back.
Yeah, well, with the force that that person threw the, was it an 8-year-old girl who threw it at your face?
It was like a young, got like a 20-year-old guy, and I was like probably about the same age.
No.
I worked at the produce department, and I used to have these big food fights with this guy, and
So you're the reason why the produce was so high in my area, wasn't it? You bastards, you having food fights in the back?
Yeah.
Didn't you think people wanted to consume that damn food?
I didn't want to have food fights. Here's how it all started.
Alright, Dan, let's
I worked in the produce department, and one day I was like just packaging grapes.
Yeah.
Or no, I was like doing something on one end of the room, I forget what, but somebody else was on the other end, and I just kept feeling these grapes just whipping at me.
Uh-huh.
And the guy was throwing grapes at me, and then I was like kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
And so like when they cull through the department and pick out all the rotting fruit, they put it in this box, and sometimes they just leave it in the back before they throw it in the dumpster.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of annoyed that he was throwing grapes at me, so I looked in the box, and I saw this moldy old peach that was all squishy and covered with mold, and I just picked it up and I wound it up like a baseball pitcher, and I just nailed it right at this guy's back, and it splashed and splattered all over him.
Yeah, that was Secondhand Joe, right?
No. What? Secondhand Joe?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Joe, you never heard that kid? The kid you threw the thing at and you knocked like water on him or something? His nickname to us was Secondhand Joe because he would always get everything his brother had.
I don't know what
His-
you're talking about. But anyway.
His name was Joe, right, though, right?
No, his name was something else.
It was Jimmy Bojangles?
I think, yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. But anyway, it just escalated from there, and finally one day, I just was walking through the double doors of the produce department, and the first thing I see is a grapefruit smacking into my skull.
Yeah.
And I think I fell backward on the floor.
And then they had like a blood cleanup because your head was shattered or something? Caved in?
Maybe. But I do remember, I don't remember if this was before or after that, but the guy that did that had this weird phobia about using public restrooms.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh no, I'll have to go to the bathroom, but I...
You know what, Dan? That's not a weird phobia. Alright? A lot of people suffer from whatever the hell it is, the fear of using public bathrooms. But go ahead.
Well, anyway, he was like whining and crying about it, and I was like, you big baby, just go use the bathroom. And so finally I talked him into using the bathroom, and I was still mad that
And then you just shit everywhere, didn't you?
I was still mad that I might have been mad at something else, but for the purposes of this story, I was mad because he threw a grapefruit at my skull. So while he was in the bathroom stall, I filled up this bucket of water.
Yeah.
And then while he was pooping, I just dumped the bucket of water into the stall.
Well, that will also feed the fuel of why he doesn't ever want to poop in a bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
So now this guy's actually very easy. You see how he
He's
watch
Grant.
it. What? Yeah, this is Grant. He got turned into a monster.
He's got
You
8
see-
hands.
But you see how he climbs up the wall? You can just throw axes at him, and then he can never get up the wall.
Yeah.
So now he made his stupid face die. Well, not really, but we
He
knocked
kept
him out.
down. Like
Yeah, I
the
did.
white man.
Yeah, just like the white man. Oh, look, he turned into a little pirate guy.
Oh.
Now the dialogue is going to be a little different.
Ugh. I am alive. I'm Grant. That bastard turned me into... Everyone here died cause of him. Please let me be. Except a partner.
And you know what? We're going to take Grant with us.
Nice.
Just so I can show you, my speed and skills are now at your service. So yeah, we're just going to show off Grant now. Uh-oh, you got a text message from me saying, yep. Look at that. So anyways, look, Dan, the bridge to Castlevania is down. We can't go that way.
Oh, the bridge is out. All kinds of cars are gonna drive into that ocean.
Yeah, for sure.
Or horseless carriages.
For sure, Dan. So now let's show off what Grant is like in the Japanese version. Look at that. He just throws... Oh, what I'm trying to show is he just throws knives. Instead of having that one little knife to stab, he throws.
Nice.
He throws like no one's business. So he's a long-distance fighter, Dan.
Huh.
Although you do have to time when you throw the knife when you're fighting these guys, at least.
Whoa.
Oh! So yeah, he's the same as he would be if he wasn't, I don't know. But yeah. He's just as damn good, Dan, is what I'm trying to get at. But, you know, that's pretty cool. So then his only weapon that he can get in this game is an axe. Well, I think everyone can actually get that clock thing.
Huh.
But yeah, he can get the axe. So let's grab this one up. We're awesome. Alright, well I think that's about enough Grant action, don't you think, Dan?
Sure.
So let's not take his help. I don't need your goddamn help.
I work alone.
Well then, we shall meet again. Please take care. Now he's going that way. Is he gonna die in the bridge there?
I think he just jumps, he like cliff dives into the ocean and swims home, I imagine.
Yeah, or if he made it to Castlevania before the bridge went down, maybe he'd be alright. But anyways, we're not going through the whole thing going down the tower. We're just going to go to the next area. Alright, back at the crossroads, Dan, we're going to head over here into the forest.
Ooh.
Like that new movie, Into the Woods, Dan. You going to go see it?
I never heard of that movie.
It's a musical. It's about...
Definitely not then.
It's about a bunch of people who get their way and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's like fairy tales, and then the first half of the movie is going to be fairy tales, and then the second half is going to be... Fuck if I know. Anyways, can you hear like the subtle differences in this song?
Yeah, it's like it makes me want to do robot dancing because it's
Yeah.
so robotic.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a compliment to the song or not, but
Probably. Robots are pretty cool.
yeah, I like robots.
Whoa.
Oh, that guy just whacked you good.
He did whack it good.
He whacked me too. So Dan, I don't know if that produce story really had like a good ending, huh?
I think it did. I dumped a bucket of water. It was a small bucket, but a bucket nonetheless.
Yeah, now that guy definitely has a phobia.
Good. I hope he filled up with poop and exploded.
Was his name Joe something or other?
No.
Didn't you mess with a guy named Joe?
Oh yeah, there was another kid who would always try and sneak up on me. And then you're thinking about the guy that I opened this door and I put a bucket of water on top of the door. Because he kept trying to sneak up on me, and then I just opened the door and put a bucket of water on the door, and then he opened the door and the bucket didn't really dump on him, it just kind of fell down like a normal, with the top up and the bottom down, and it just whacked him on the head and then tipped over and dumped on him.
Mm-hmm. So your history of buckets and water is quite extensive, isn't it?
I guess so.
You like doing that to people.
Like, not anymore.
Well, no, you know what? Remind me never to be around you with a bucket full of water.
What about a bucket full of mud?
No, I don't know what you did with mud.
What about a bucket full of acid?
See, maybe not, but the mud would be alright, but I don't need to get all wet.
Alright, well then I'll remind you next time I'm around a bucket.
Yeah, no, full of water.
Okay.
Because that's just messed up. I don't need that shit, Dan.
What if, let me ask you this. What if you need, if you're in need of a makeshift helmet? And I just happen to have a bucket.
I don't know, Dan. I'm going to tell you to keep that bucket. I'm going to tell you, don't fill that bucket with water.
Alright.
Anyways, let's head towards the pier. We'll head south or into the swamp later. But yeah, I'd tell you to keep that bucket away from me. You and your damn water.
Alright.
Your goddamn life-giving water. I'd tell you to go fuck yourself. You know what? You know what, Dan?
What?
And I don't tell you to go fuck yourself often.
I know, but I probably,
I'd be like, you stay away from me with your goddamn water and your bucket.
Yeah. Usually you don't tell me to go fuck myself that often, but
Yeah, it's usually
most people
Rob.
do.
It's usually Rob. He'll tell you. He'll tell it to you straight.
I feel like some people agree.
He'll also tell it to you gay, too, if you need.
Probably.
But yeah, so most people need to be told to go F themselves every once in a while, right?
I guess so.
That's just a fact of life.
Yeah.
Some people don't know when they're getting all sassy, and sometimes you just gotta tell them, hey, you're being too sassy.
Yeah, sometimes my fingers just start snapping and
Yes.
my head moves from side to side when I'm, giving people the business.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that would be like the perfect opportunity to just tell me to just go F myself.
Yeah,
right in the face.
Dan Brown, you are being too sassy.
That's right.
Sassier than a sassy McSass.
Sassier than a syrup bottle of some sort.
I don't know how a syrup bottle's sassy, but I believe you.
I just assume Aunt Jemima's sassy.
She is. You're right. You're right. Anyways, as you can tell, I'm keeping this cross-a-rang here, probably for the remainder of the game, because this is my favorite weapon in this game. Screw you, holy water bottle or whatever.
I once had a blue Nerf boomerang that was quite a lot like the cross-a-rang.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems pretty sweet, Dan.
It didn't really return to you unless you threw it up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would hook around and come back.
Alright, so here we are against Cyclopsy.
But then I think it got stuck up on the roof with every other toy that I had that you could throw.
Jeez, Dan. Alright, look, here he comes.
Whoa.
He almost got me.
What's up, cat?
Too bad I am destroying this guy now, Dan. I'm just gonna throw cross-rings at him all day. He doesn't even know what hit him. Well, he does. It's a cross-ring to his stupid eye. Boom, dead. I'm gonna eat this meat. Yum.
You beat the hell out of him with that cross-a-rang.
Yeah, I did.
You better be careful, or Ralph might get his cross-a-rang stuck up on the roof.
Yeah, Ralph.
And his dad's gonna have to get it down
That's
the
like
ladder.
the worst name they could have given him.
I know.
Ralph. Like, and how did someone in the localization team of the video games go, okay, Ralph, that's a terrific name.
Yeah.
No, they say Ralph's stupid. I'm changing it to, whatever.
And I feel like because they named him Ralph, they should change Grant's name to Barney.
So we're gonna take her as a partner just to hear what she has to say. Oh, she should. And Sypha in this game actually doesn't have any special things. So she's She's really the same as she would be in the NES game, is what I'm trying to get at. Anyways, Dan, we're going to stop the video here.
Oh.
In the next episode, we're going to head on our ghost ship and
Alright.
travel to Narnia, maybe, right?
Alright.
Bye-bye.
Bye.